Hardest thing I ever did in the Army was retire. Nobody cares that you're a first sergeant. Nobody cares you're Ranger qualified or you're jump master or how many jumps you got or how many deployments. It doesn't matter. And I had a very hard time trying to figure out who I was. I was lost.
Served 34 years total. Retired as a Command Sergeant Major of the 731st Combat Sustainment Battalion. Yeah, it was hard to get used to. Like I said, you do something for 34 years, it becomes part of you, you know.
I've served in the Army National Guard, Alabama Army National Guard for 24 years. Some people, they struggle very much. I think sometimes it's because they don't have the support they need.
I was in 23 years, retired back in 2009. When you get out, you know, even in church groups, they want to help veterans, but a lot of times they don't have veterans that understand what you've been through.
I am an Army veteran. In the civilian world, there's not really anybody that understands kind of the culture of how we are and how we operate as soldiers.
Since I got out, I was always kind of missing the camaraderie. I went to college and I met a couple friends, mostly veterans, but I didn't really find like a unit level of camaraderie till I came here and met the people from Project Healing Waters and the Oars Foundation. Meeting that community just felt like I was home.
So after I retired, I applied for a couple other jobs and no one would respond. So I started getting nervous. So I just grabbed the first job. Whoever offered it, I was going to take it. And that was the church we were attending. Dying inside every day that I worked there. I thought it was cool, but I was miserable. Harry Yates, the program lead of Project Healing Waters, came and visited one day. And they were looking for a place to meet closer to Fort Benning. Before he left, I said, if you need any help, I'd love to help. I miss helping soldiers. And he said, why don't you come to a meeting and see what it's like? And I said, no, I don't know about this fly fishing thing. And he said, well, just come and try it. And if you like it, you can learn a little more and start helping others. And I said, okay, I'm in.
I'm usually the first person who talks to a veteran who's interested in Project Healing Waters. One of the first things they usually say, tell me about your group. That's what's important, is the group, the camaraderie, the being part of a team. Some people say fly fishing is just an excuse to be together. I surely believe that. I believe that's mostly what draws people to fly fishing.
Project Healing Waters, it's a national 501c3 that helps disabled veterans through fellowship, and they use fly tying, fly rod building, casting instruction to help soldiers with disability adjust.
We are on the Tallapoosa River doing some fly rod fishing. Never done no fly rod fishing in my life till yesterday. Enjoyed every bit of it. Just been a good experience for me. Come out and meet with veterans and just have a good time.
Fishing is one of my big hobbies. I've never been much into fly fishing, but I've enjoyed it very much. Learning something new gives you something to focus on, and it puts you at ease, makes you calm.
I think anytime we can get together as veterans and the camaraderie kind of stuff you missed since you retired, getting back together with other veterans, hearing their stories, telling our stories, it's probably the best stress release we can have.
It's fun and it's challenging, but also it's a nice disconnect. It's peace. And generally, if I'm out on the water, I'm not having to stress about work. Things are fine with the family. I'm out on the water. I can just focus on that, and I can get some calm and some serenity from it.
There's something special about this river. And I don't know exactly what it is, but it's unique. It's very Alabama, and I love it.
Fly fishing just turns off the background noise. Being out, getting into that rhythm of casting, and you're just flowing water around you and birds and just green everywhere. It just shuts off all the background music. I love being on the water and I love sharing it with others. But really, I just love seeing another veteran light up. They just out here seeing a bald eagle flies overhead as a big old fish grabs your fly. It's hard to beat. It's just sharing this with the people that I believe need and deserve it the most.
Sometimes we see really, really hard things that people shouldn't see. And that most people that you're going to meet in the rest of your walk in life will not have ever seen. And so sometimes it's really hard to know with whom you can speak and how that conversation is going to go. Is it okay to say what you really want to say? You just met the person, you like them, there's a good relationship here. Am I going to ruin it by saying what I'm actually feeling? By telling them the truth?
I have been on a total of 8 deployments. The first 5 were peacekeeping operations in the Balkan states, and the last 3 were all to Iraq. There's lots of hard days on deployment. I think the most impactful one that I had, I was a private in Bosnia. We had to recon all the mass grave sites. And so we visited probably 10 a day. And from afar, it looked like just a construction site. As you got closer, you saw personal effects, bones sticking out of the ground. And I remember particularly there was a young girl who was in a clear plastic bag off to the side, and she was half decomposed. So it was pretty messed up. It made me question my faith, question humanity. And so I went through a little depression there. We just kind of toughed it out.
I had some PTSD issues and I tried to hide it for years. In 2003, we deployed to Operation Iraqi Freedom. We was in charge of different police stations across Baghdad. I had Al-Dura police station. Later in the deployment, that police station got bombed. It got hit by IED. I lost a good friend of mine, Aubrey Del Valle. Lost a lot of friends that I had made with the police. It destroyed the police station. Everything that we had done for 6 months was blown up in 5 seconds. And that was a very difficult time, and it still is from that.
There is this force that is moving, and it was there before us. It'll be here after us. It's more powerful than we are, but it's graceful and it's beautiful, and it has its still moments in these deep, deep pools, but it also has these incredibly strong rapids and riffles. And I think that the vulnerability of this fishing community is to let them know the same kind of idea, that there is this thing, there is this current of people who have a heart for one another that are not dissimilar from the river. It's this thing that was there before us. It's going to be there after us. It's available to us if we'll just step down into it. It has these bends where there's always hope around the corner. And you may not know what's around the corner, but you know there's always a new opportunity. Just one more step away, and with these groups, just one more conversation, one more opportunity. I'll go to a Project Healing Waters meeting just one more month. I'm going to show up to the next one. People like Rowell and Jake, the energy and the love that they have for people that they know and that they haven't even met yet is the same. It's so powerful that it allows that chance of vulnerability, because there's nothing you can say it's going to be too scary. It can't be more powerful then the admiration that they have for you as somebody who also serves, then the love that they have for you, then the respect they have for shared experiences. I think that that opens up a door to really truly be vulnerable when you know that you're in a place with other people who also stepped out before you and were vulnerable. And they also didn't know what was going to happen when they opened up. The hardest and the scariest part was choosing to step into the river.
Got something. Oh, the river's amazing. It's just the sound of the river, the people we're with, but it also helps me, you know, try to get over some of the stress that we had from some of the things we went through in the military.
It's this feeling of belonging where you don't have to worry, because even if you were deployed somewhere else, you're stationed somewhere else, we all experience common things in the military, and we all have, you know, been through very similar experiences. And it just feels like veterans are just, we bond together because we've gone through things that we don't really want to explain.
It's kind of a deep pool right here. It definitely calms you. My wife, she said, when I'm out on the river and I come back, I'm a much better person. She says, I smile more, I'm a lot more understanding, more patient, more empathetic, and just a lot more relaxed. So, I mean, this river means a lot to me.
Some of us that met through Project Healing Waters are trying to help protect this place and keep it the way it is. It's just too beautiful, and it's been here for so long. It'd really be awful if it went downhill now. After all these years, it could have gone bad. We're going to protect this river.
Have you ever considered yourself an environmentalist?
No. No.
Do you now consider yourself an environmentalist?
No, I don't. I'd consider myself an outdoorsman. So I considered myself a conservationist. People would think, you know, probably if you were just to read it on paper, I could be an environmentalist. But I guess, you know, when I start talking about the river, it does sound like I am. Care about, I guess, yeah, I guess, got me. I'm an environmentalist, care about the environment. Damn, airborne ranger, not a freaking hippie.
This is the best preserved place I think I've found in Alabama. It's protected mostly by private property and hunting leases, and there isn't much public access. There's no trash. It doesn't flow through any cities. Because of that, it doesn't have many threats. So it doesn't have much protection either.
We have a great group of folks that are concerned about the river. You know, the Tallapoosa Watershed Coalition. Hopefully, maybe one day we'll have a river keeper to speak on the river's behalf and all the people that enjoy and love it.
There's getting to be more silt. They generate very heavily. There's no minimum flow, so when they dump water, they dump water, it erodes the bank. There's creeks that have development on it and just dumping mud in.
Between the middle of April all the way till the end of June is when we're on the river 3-4 times a week, if not 5 or 6. In the month of May, I canceled every one of my trips because the water was high and muddy. You really can't fly fish when the water is like chocolate milk.
By the virtue of being out in nature, you want to do something to help, and so it's just kind of, you know, continued to grow that it is become more and more important, and quite honestly shocking with the things that actually cause erosion and pollution here that I would never have even thought about years ago.
It's hard. You invest a lot of time in relationships, and then all of a sudden it gets taken away. And it not just, you know, for me, but to think about how it changed my life, how it influenced my life, And I've watched it over and over do the same for others. And to have that taken away is huge.
I want to share this with the veterans that need it the most. I've had a couple friends that they met us through Project Healing Waters, the Oars Foundation. And a year or two later, they tell us like, hey, I'm alive because of this. Like, I was maybe, I had given up. I was trying to decide how to end it. And they make some friends. It's a new lease on life. And it's awesome. No, just brings them back to life almost. And I just want to keep on, it sounds crazy, but saving veteran lives by getting them on the water. That's small. Oh, sorry.